Subtracting integers becomes a little more complicated. But some of it's still fairly simple. Positive 6 minus positive 3 equals positive 3. This is the same normal subtraction that you've done before. Positive 6 minus positive 9, negative 3. You may not have done this, but it still makes sense. Right? You're taking away a higher number than you start with, so it's going to be a negative number. Where it starts to get complicated is when you're taking away a negative number, or taking away a positive number from a negative number, or taking away a negative number from a negative number. Okay? This is where your chips actually are a lot more useful. So let's model this. Positive 6 minus negative 4. I want you to put positive 6 on the table. Red is positive. Now, take a look at this. Can you take negative 4 away from this? Do you have 4 negative chips there? No, there's 6 positive chips, but there's no negative chip. If I add 4 negative chips, what is the balance on the table right now?
Two positive.
But I need to start with positive 6. I need to start with a value of positive 6. So how can I do that? Yes?
Four more red ones.
Why 4 more red ones? Remember what we talked about when we were talking about opposite integers? Positive 4 and negative 4 together is net 0. So this doesn't add any weight to what I'm putting on the table. I could do this as long as I wanted, and it still wouldn't add any weight to what I'm putting on the table. The weight of the table, the amount on the table right now is still positive 6, right? But now I also have 4 negatives that I can take away. So let's do that. Take away those 4 negatives. What do you have left? Yeah. Positive 10. So positive 6 minus negative 4 equals positive 10. But I want you to see what we're doing here. Okay? We start with positive 6. When we start with positive 6, we don't have any negatives to take off. So we have to have negatives to take off because we have to take off, I'm going to move this down, we have to take off 4 negatives, right? That's what taking away subtracting is. It's taking it off the table. But we can't just add this because that changes how much is on the table to begin with. So if we add it as a pair, positive and negative, positive and negative, positive and negative, positive and negative, that doesn't add anything to the table. We have more chips on the table, but the weight, this is still worth positive 6, right? Because these all are worth 0, so it's almost like they're not there. But now we can take away 4 negatives because we have 4 negatives to take away. Once we take those away, our answer is positive 10. Negative 6, okay, follow me. Let's put negative 6 up. Minus positive 4.
Negative 2. What?
Negative 6 minus positive 4. Can I take positive 4 away from that?
No.
What do I have to do?
Oh, is it the same except different colors?
Exactly. Okay? You add your 4 positive. If you just add the 4 positive, it changes the weight, so you have to add 4 negatives with it to make it net 0. Now we start negative 6, and we can take away positive 4. And we end up with negative 10. So the only thing that's changed here is the negative. Okay? Positive 6 minus negative 4 is positive 10. Negative 6 minus positive 4 is negative 10.
Wait.
Yeah.
So negative 6 minus
-4 would be -2.
Well, let's see. That's our next one. -6 minus -4. So put -6 on the table.
Take away 4. Right?
Now take away -4.
Oh, wait. Oh, I did it. Wait, you can? Oh, wait, yeah, you can. Wait.
Are there 4 negative chips there?
Yeah. Yeah.
So take them away.
Oh, I was right. Yeah.
So it's -2.
Yay. It's like adding.
Okay? Now, exactly. I want you to notice something. +6 plus +4 equals what?
10.
-6 plus -4 equals
Oh. Doesn't have to be the
-6 plus +4 equals
So subtraction's just
+6 plus -9 equals +6 plus -9. Well, +6 plus -9
is 15.
equals what?
3.
-3. Net 0, net 0, net 0, net 0, and net 0 leaves me with -3.
Math is not good.
+6 plus -3 equals
Negative 3. No, plus 3.
Equals
Positive
negative
3.
3.
Positive
Positive 3. Oh, plus positive 3. What? So I'm confused.
+6, +6 plus -3, net 0, leaves me with +3.
That's addition. I thought we were subtracting.
What do you notice about these?
The same, but subtracting.
So adding
What did I do in each case?
Change that a little bit.
What did I do here?
Made it to a positive integer.
I changed negative to positive, and I positive to negative. So subtracting, pay attention, subtracting a negative number is the same as adding, subtracting a positive number is the same as adding a negative number. Look, same answer.
So what can we do that in a text?
Subtracting a positive number is like adding a negative number. Look, same answer. Subtracting a negative number is like adding a positive number.
Oh, so we just add it every time.
Subtracting a positive number is like adding a negative number. Shh. And subtracting a negative number is like adding a positive number. In all of these cases, the answers are exactly the same. What we did, in essence, was switch. These, if it's negative, if it's subtract, you change the sign of the number that's after it. Okay, we went from subtracting positive to adding negative. We went from subtracting positive to adding negative. We went from subtracting negative to adding positive. The sign switches each time. Subtracting positive, adding negative. Subtracting negative, adding positive. So you can switch all of your subtraction questions into addition questions by changing the sign that follows the minus sign.
So if it's a positive.
Lexi.
Do you have to do this little bracket?
It's generally a good idea because it helps you differentiate between the sign, positive or negative, and the operation, add or subtract.
But do you have to do it?
Yes, please.
Do you have to, this makes everything so much harder.
Yes.
Like,
2 lines are just unbelievably difficult to draw.
What if you've already done your math for this week? Do you need to like go back and like do the little brackets? Every single equation. Like the homework that we write down, that I write down. We just go back.
If you forget on the test, I will not accept it.
Forget to do what?
Okay?
You need brackets?
Parentheses. Yes, she did just say. So what subtraction does is with subtraction, where positive numbers would normally go this way, they now go that way. Where negative numbers would normally go that way, they now go this way. Okay? So all it does, if you are subtracting a negative number, usually on the number line, you move to the left with a negative number, right? The subtraction means that you actually go this way. So yeah, remember what we did last day, we did this. It's reversing the sign. You're adding the opposite sign. So if you have positive 6, I start at positive 6. If I am subtracting a negative number, normally subtraction would go this way, right? But because I'm subtracting it, normally negative numbers would go that way. But because I am subtracting the negative number, it actually goes this way. Okay? It's adding the opposite. So remember we talked about opposite integers? What's an opposite integer? Yeah.
An integer when they're like, I think it's like they're added together, they equal 0.
Basically, yeah. So positive 9 and negative 9 are opposite integers. Okay. If I start, I'm just going to start at 0. If I start at 0 and I subtract positive 9, it is like adding the opposite integer, which would be 0.
It'd be 0 plus negative 1?
Yeah. Okay. If I am subtracting negative 9, it's like adding the opposite integer. So 0 plus opposite integer is positive 9.
Well, I'm confused. If it's 0 minus positive 9, would it be positive 9 then? The answer? Or would it be negative 9?
0 minus positive 9 is the same as 0 plus negative 9. It's the same. These two equations will give you the same answer, which is negative 9, yes.
Okay.
Okay? If you look at this part based on what you already know, 0 minus 9 is what?
0 minus 9 is negative 9.
Right. 0 plus negative 9 is?
Negative 9.
Same answer.
Well, there's a question on the textbook. So basically, if it's a subtraction, that's a positive. And if it's a positive, so if you're doing subtraction, you
Add the opposite integer.
add the opposite integer.
Okay?
Oh.
So subtraction, you add the opposite integer. The opposite integer to positive 9 is negative 9. Subtraction, so you add the opposite integer. Opposite integer to negative 9 is positive 9. Okay?
Okay.
All right.